I think what I would convey to people who don't know Southway about Southway is that we're problem solvers. The product that we are building, that we are delivering, is built the way that the client hired us to build it. No exceptions, no corners cut, no workarounds. They're gonna get what they pay for. That's what integrity for us is in this marketplace. The business plan I wrote at the inception of the business was built around the idea that there was an incredible housing need in Baltimore, and that need was being poorly filled. I thought there was a reasonable chance that I could succeed. It was July of 1991. I was offered the opportunity to run a small job for an affordable housing developer in West Baltimore. I said, why not?
I asked Paul, I said, my gosh, you're gonna hire employees and do all that stuff? And he said, heck no. I'm gonna be the superintendent, the project manager, the bookkeeper, the labor. I'm gonna do it all by myself.
For the first year and a half, it was just me. And then I was incredibly lucky in hiring my first 2 employees. And both of those people have been fundamental to our success.
I came in as employee number 1. I was a superintendent on a project at 27th and Maryland. As we have grown the company, there's been an intent to build to a higher platform, which has allowed us to make that growth meaningful and enjoyable and easy.
We grew slowly for a long time. We primarily focused on the affordable housing niche as it related to working within Baltimore City. It wasn't too long after that, though, that Willie and I knew we didn't want to be branded as a housing contractor.
We did a lot of scattered site rehab houses, and so people knew that we did that. But we would work for clients, and the same client would build a multifamily project, and we never knew anything about it. And so we wanted to make sure that we were diversifying our product type.
We went from being the small gut rehab townhouse of Baltimore to we started getting rows of them. It turned to blocks. Then things mutated. We started getting retirement centers. And we got involved with some projects at the airport where the buildings were taller, and now we just keep going bigger and bigger.
We ended up hiring another great individual, Mr. John Deal.
We jumped on the opportunity to bring him on board to really build a commercial group within the company.
They saw a need and an opportunity to diversify the company into commercial construction. That's what I came here to do. So after we got our name out there and people started to know the kind of guys we were and the kind of projects we could build and the way we could help solve their problems, that kind of turned the ship a little bit to where instead of being in a bid situation and having to be an adversary to our client, we could be their partner and help them.
One of Paul Lippman's catchphrases to his group, including myself, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. That means don't overprice the client and understand where you actually work and who is the boss. There are no bosses beyond the client.
And the philosophy has always been that Southway is a service-based company. We succeed with our clients if they felt like they were getting good service.
The company's motto, quality, dependability, and integrity, it helps us guide all our decisions. It's all about helping the client and the project succeed.
What's unique about Southway right from the beginning is the culture. They really have the interest of the client. An ideal relationship between an owner and a contractor is a true partnership. They're both pulling in the same direction. And that has certainly been the philosophy of Southway. Still is today, even though they've grown to a big number. Paul has brought together over these 25 years a remarkable group of people. That philosophy still holds true.
I love to see our buildings in the city. Each one of them represents a huge amount of effort and commitment from our employees. When I drive up Interstate 83 and I see an orange tower on the top of Baltimore Design School, I always look, and I'm always thrilled to see it.
City Arts won across the street from the entrance to Greenmount Cemetery. It was the only thing over there that was new. And it has transformed the entire community around it. And it was partly because of the success of City Arts 1 that Baltimore Design School had selected that location. And then City Arts 2 and OpenWorks and Lillian Jones. And then we move north of North Avenue, and our client Telesis there. We've been working in that Barclay Midway Old Goucher community now for probably 7 or 8 years. And the transformation of that community is remarkable. I'm a Baltimore guy. I'm a 5th generation Baltimorean, and I love this city. And to have added to the fabric of what makes this a fun, eclectic town, that's the sizzle. That's the prize for those of us who love what we do. The standout achievements for me, one is personal, having the ability to be in an environment that has allowed me to grow to become president. It's growth from within, and we hope to continue that path for the company. Every year there seems to be a new project that is just unbelievably cool. So we did Baltimore Design School, which was changing an old factory into what's now a fabulous charter school. And then Chesapeake Shakespeare Theater, which taking an old white elephant of a bank, and it's now one of the coolest spaces as a Shakespearean Globe-style theater, to now it's where everybody is hopefully tonight is the Parkway Theater, which I think most people in Baltimore have no idea that this fabulous building even exists. And for us to be able to polish it up and add new space, that's very rewarding. So the benchmark keeps moving from year to year.
I didn't see it coming like this. I didn't see it, and I have joked continually with Paul about it. I have joked with Paul about it. I said, you're like the dog that ran down the road, you caught the milk truck, now what are you gonna do with it? I don't know how many times over the years I said, are you pinching yourself yet?
It's not just my job. I signed on with Paul and Willie 15 years ago. A few years after that, I knew I wasn't going anywhere else, so Southway is simply home for me.
Paul is easygoing. But he worries. I know he worries. He provided such great leadership. And so to see his success today and the success of Southway and all the people at Southway, I realize it's not just Paul, it's everybody at Southway, but it's his leadership, Willie's leadership now, that really have made that such a great company and such a good company to work with.
I can't believe how big we've gotten. It's no secret I'm phasing out a little bit, and I'm leaving the company in fantastic hands, and the group that's taking over for me will probably take it to even new heights. Southway, in terms of what I dreamed and envisioned when I started, is 100-fold more. It's not to say that I set my bar low when I set one, but it has evolved into something that I never could have even imagined. It is incredible to me what this team has done.